In Wenming Garden, Dong Zhuo denounces Ding Yuan. With red hair, Li Su bribes Lu Bu. Cao Cao warned,
We only need a few men to stop the trouble. Too many soldiers will only bring chaos.
but He Jin laughed at Cao Cao's advice, thinking he knew better than anyone else. Cao Cao muttered to himself,
The one bringing chaos is not the eunuchs, it's He Jin.
He Jin secretly sent letters across the land, calling powerful lords to bring their armies to the capital. Far away, the warlord Dong Zhuo led a huge army toward the capital, smiling at his chance for power. Li Ru suggested sending a letter first, warning the emperor about the troublemakers in the palace. Dong Zhuo's letter asked for the removal of the evil eunuchs for the good of the whole empire. He Jin read Dong Zhuo's message and showed it to the ministers, asking for their thoughts. Minister Zheng Tai warned,
If Dong Zhuo comes, he will harm the people like a fierce wild beast.
Lu Shuk said,
Dong Zhuo is like a wolf. Once inside, he will cause disaster.
Many wise ministers resigned from their posts, unwilling to watch the danger grow. The eunuchs feared for their lives and plotted to strike before He Jin could act. The eunuchs begged Empress He for protection. They tricked her, saying if she summoned He Jin, they would ask forgiveness. Believing their words, Empress, he trusted the eunuchs. She sent an urgent command for his brother, He Jin, to come to the palace. Secretary Chen Lin warned,
The eunuchs are behind this order. They may harm you inside.
Cao Cao and other commander offered to guard He Jin just in case of danger. Tension thickened the air like smoke. Trust cracked, and fear filled the cracks. He Jin entered the heart of the empire, never knowing it was a mouth waiting to close. Steel whispered behind the walls. Assassins in robes prepared their strike. Then came silence, too deep, too perfect. The calm that knew what storm followed. From street to stable, whispers carried the scent of blood. The people felt it before it came. War's breath curled around the capital. And then, the final breath of peace. They guided him deeper, each step a thread pulling him into the snare. In the echoing halls, loyalty was no shield against the knives of deceit.
Traitors!
And thus fell the mightiest man in the court, not in battle, but in the dark embrace of treachery. The cry went up, but the killers had already melted into the maze of the palace. A gruesome sight met the soldiers. He Jin's head was hurled over the wall, his eyes still open. Enraged, Yuan Shao roared for revenge, and his soldiers stormed the palace to hunt down the treacherous eunuchs.
Cut down every last one of them.
Flames and screams filled the palace as steel clashed, and shadows danced wildly against the burning walls. Slipping away in the confusion, the eunuchs snatched the young emperor and prince, vanishing into the night. Brave Lu Ji found the empress, trembling, and promised her safety amidst the palace's fiery turmoil. In a cruel act of vengeance, the soldiers destroyed the homes of the eunuchs and their families. At last, Cao Cao's quick orders brought water to the flames, saving what remained of the great palace. Far from the burning palace, the eunuchs' leader, Zhang Rang, led the frightened boys deep into the dark woods. A commander, loyal to the emperor, raced through the shadows to catch the kidnappers. Rather than face capture, Zhang Rang hurled himself into the roaring river and vanished. Alone and frightened, the young emperor and prince hid in the whispering grass, hoping not to be found. Then, like tiny lanterns, fireflies filled the night sky, guiding the boys towards safety. At last, the commander brought the emperor to the imperial officials, safe and sound. The capital rejoiced as the emperor returned, his journey of danger finally at an end. On the road back to the capital, Dong Zhuo and his army met the young emperor's slow and weary procession. Princess Yi stood bravely, telling Dong Zhuo they should hurry to the palace, not delay with more speeches.
The country needs order. Let us return to the palace now.
Dong Zhuo, seeing the prince's strong spirit, secretly decided to place him on the throne instead of Emperor Liu Bian. With little respect for the rules, Dong Zhuo marched into the capital, his troops acting as if they owned it. That night, Bao Xin, commander of the rear army, warned the ministers that Dong Zhuo's growing power would soon threaten the whole empire. The next morning, Dong Zhuo began planning to remove Emperor Liu Bian and place the prince in his place. Dong Zhuo's advisor, Li Ru, advised that they must act swiftly before the court could gather its strength to oppose them. Dong Zhuo held a grand feast pretending to celebrate, but really to announce his bold plan to replace the emperor. When Dong Zhuo spoke of removing the emperor, Ding Yuan, imperial protector of Jingzhou, stood tall, refusing to betray the rightful ruler.
I will never be part of treachery against our emperor.
Even the wise Lu Ji spoke against Dong Zhuo, reminding all that loyalty and justice must guide the court. Dong Zhuo's rage almost cost Lu Ji his life, but two brave ministers stopped him in time. Dong Zhuo's eyes turned to the mighty Lu Bu, thinking such a warrior could be a valuable ally. That night, Dong Zhuo confided in Li Su, asking him to lure Lu Bu away from Ding Yuan. Li Su began planning his approach, gathering rich gifts to tempt the mighty warrior to change sides. He offered Lu Bu the red hair, a horse said to run 1,000 miles in a single day. Lu Bu admired the horse's beauty, its power stirring a restless desire in his warrior's heart. Then came gold and pearls, gifts meant to bind Lu Bu's loyalty with wealth and glory. Greed and ambition won. Lu Bu decided to kill his master Ding Yuan to join Dong Zhuo. That night, Lu Bu struck without mercy, ending Ding Yuan's life in a single blow. Lu Bu joined Dong Zhuo, rewarded with riches and power for his deadly betrayal. Li Ru kept whispering his dangerous idea: remove the young emperor and place another on the throne, no matter the cost. At a grand feast, Dong Zhuo suddenly rose, sword drawn, and declared the emperor too weak to rule the empire.
From this day, the emperor shall be Prince of Hongnong, and the throne will belong to the Prince of Chenliu.
Yuan Shao's sword flashed as he stood against Dong Zhuo, refusing to let the emperor be thrown from his rightful place.
If your sword is sharp, mine is never blunt.
On one side, a throne is stolen. On the other, a sword waits, its master ready to strike.